In this video, we're going to repair a Toro Recycler with a Tecumseh engine. The owner was complaining that it wouldn't start, and he tried so hard that the pull cord came right out of it. This is going to be a two-part repair video. First of all, we're going to repair the pull cord so we can diagnose the engine. Secondly, we're going to discover that there's water in the gas and crud built up into the carburetor bowl. The subject of today's video is a 22-inch self-propelled front drive walk-behind Toro Recycler GTS, guaranteed to start. And I promise we have long surpassed that guarantee, especially when you consider it's powered by a 195cc Tecumseh that claims a whopping 6.5 horsepower. Model number LV195 EA.
Oh yeah. Pull that loose. Alright, let's try to go ahead and save all these, because we don't want to lose any screws, especially when they're specialized like these. Always in the can. Okay. There we go. This pull start has, let's see, there's two little nuts holding it on. They're all 1/4 inch. So we'll, in the can. And in the can. Let's see how much this broke off. Ooh. See, just a tiny little nubbin broke off. So I'm just going to reuse the original cord and just, you know, it might be 2 inches shorter than it was from the factory. But since it has little crimps on it, it's nice. Just keep it going. Well, let's just do a quick tour of my tiny man cave. This is an 8x10 building in my backyard in some undisclosed top secret location. Whoa, what is going on with these windows? Look at that. Anyways, back to the project. Alright, so the objective here is we need to spring load this enough that it will pull that much. If I can get that in the shot. What is it? That much right there. What is that? 2.5, 3 feet worth of cord in. So just to see, get a rough estimate how many revolutions I need to, you know, how many turns of the spring need to reload this. We got 1, 2, and 3, because it won't go past this little crimp on here. That crimp sits right there at the hole. So I need to preload it at least 3 revolutions. But first, let's clean this up a bit so I can stand a chance to jab that through the hole. My fan's on too powerful. So this is just plastic. It'll melt. Maybe don't do it inside your tiny man cave. All right. Now I have a good little point. The original one, if you can see that, was lashed like a shoelace. this one I think will hold up and do the job. So, back to the repair. The way you wind the spring is the same direction that you would pull the cord that puts tension on the spring. So if you pull it out, you're pulling it through, means you wind it that way. You wind it the same direction it pulls out. See that? Then it'll spin. If you go the other way, you run the risk of breaking the spring, and then you have to, take it apart and actually fix something. You know, no, I'm going to use the hole as reference. So I need to do 3 revolutions of cord into the thing, and I have to poke it through the hole and come out that hole right there. You follow me? So that will be a little bit of pre-tension. That's bonus with that hole lined up there. So then I'll do 1, 2, 3 revolutions right there. I'll find the end of my cord. I'll poke it through. Wow, look at that first shot. It went ahead and came out. So the knot that we're looking to do is just real simple. Look at that. That's just a granny knot. I think I'm capable of doing those sorts of knots. How about you? So I'll go ahead and make a revolution. A little hoop. I'll pull through. Get that tight. Maybe grab some pliers. And I'll pull the nut. Like so. So let's see if that'll go all the way down. If that's tight enough. Okay, so this much of the cord, let me zoom out. What am I looking for? Yeah, so this much of the cord is supposed to be out. This is what gets you with the handle, or the pull start mounted by the handle. This is the amount which you're trying to have pre-tension to wind back in. I probably could have done another turn in there, but that feels pretty good. Good enough for the tiny man cave. Let's just take a quick peek at how this works. So when you pull it, those little legs come out and they grab inside this and they spin the engine for you. So put this back on. You just line up one hole on this side and one hole on this side. Over here. Ooh, a little bit too much real life with the junk behind my house. This part. This goes in right like that. So just for shits and giggles, it does have gas in it. Let's see if we can prime it. Huh. Okay, so we know it has a spark. So what does that teach us? We know it has a spark. We know that the gas is flammable. That's getting there. But it's stalling out. So we'll go ahead and take the bowl off, see if there's water in there. Maybe it'll be as simple of a fix as that. Alright, this mower doesn't have a fuel shut off, but here's the fuel line, and you can see it's nice and pliable. What I do is I'll take a pair of vice grips and I'll just pinch off the fuel line. And I'll do that before I take the bowl off. Just make sure I'm not making a huge mess. The bowl is held on by just a 1/2 inch screw right there. What I like to do is take a piece of aluminum foil or something and build a bit of a drip pan. So I can prevent the worst of the mess from getting in my yard. Alright, so here's my oil pan. Here's my drip pan. I'll just lefty loosey, righty-tighty. Alright, do you see how there's drops that stick together with capillary action? Yeah, let's get off this. Oh yeah, there we go. So do you see how there's drops inside the liquid? So the water, is dipolar. So there's capillary action, makes those droplets. The gas isn't, and so it is around the droplets. So that's proof positive that we had water in the bowl. It's not the worst if it's dripped off. Let's go ahead and get that the rest of the way out. We'll remove the bowl. Ugh. So here we can see the familiar crusties of water and the gas with these little crystalline entities living at the bottom of the bowl. Let's dump those out. Let them dry out.
So now's a good time to flush out the fuel line and make sure that the check valve, the little float valve, is working. And so as you can see, I took off the vice grips and nothing's coming out. So I lowered the float manually and proved that the check valve's working. But that needs to be cleaned for sure. What I notice is I just do not like the way this gas looks. So I'm just going to go ahead and drain the whole tank, because this is nasty. It's just nasty, and it'll probably just cause more running issues in the future. So we're going to flush and drain and dump out the gas tank. Also, this particular fuel tank has a very large sediment catch, and it was almost completely filled with water. I didn't get I didn't film me doing the first dump, but the gas was just nasty. So what this is a flush. So I put fresh gas in there, sloshing it back and forth, putting the fresh gas down the fuel line, and then eventually I'm just going to dump it over and dump out through the fill spout on the tank itself. And the wind has picked up and it's fighting me, and I'm making a mess. Got a little bit of gas in the yard, which is a no-no. I try very hard not to get gas in the yard. Oh well. A little bit won't kill me. So I'm going to put the gas tank back where it belongs. and we're gonna work on the float problem. So I don't have any carb cleaner on me, so I'm just using starter fluid. So I'm spraying, the float down and all that with starter fluid, just kind of blindly blasting it in there, and you can see it loosens up. I double triple check, wiggling it, get it to go. And then of course we got to clean up. So the bowl had dirt on the outside and crud on the inside. Give it a good wipe down. The O-ring was very crusty. I had to use my fingernail and a screwdriver to bust some of that crud off. But eventually I got it to a place I was happy with. So I put the O-ring on first, and then the bowl. I'm just making sure the deep part of the bowl lines up with where the deepest part of the float, where it bends down, is at. And then that's a pretty tight fit. And then it just sticks up there by itself, and I put the retaining bolt back on it. Now for the fun part. We are ready for some fresh gas. I'm not going to dump it out this time. We're going to stick it in there, and we're going to try to start it. This mower actually gave me, several pulls. I was probably 10 pulls in total before it finally fired up. And finally I rejoice with the satisfaction of knowing that I fixed something.
Oh, fuck. Look at this. Has to go through here on this little vanity plate. So, dig out that knot. That was so hard. Oh my god. Just for this. Fuck. Give him something like that. I don't know. Whatever. Squeeze it down. Pull it tight. Jesus, there. Now let's put this hunk of turd back together.
By using a container to hold my nuts, I didn't lose anything. Seriously. Don't lose your nuts. On a side note, when I typed in the engine family number into the Google search engine, I came up with the California's Environmental Protection Agency Air Resource Board and got a PDF of the emissions allotment for this particular engine. And interestingly enough, it says this engine family belongs to a series of 2004 engines of 195 cc by Tecumseh, rated at 3.67 horsepower.
And that will conclude our video. Thank you for watching, and I'd appreciate some feedback. What do you think about these longer format videos? Are they just way too boring? Does it help to see, step-by-step process like this? So here's my video editing setup here in my tiny shop. And I'm using what is this product? This is the VideoPad. They use the VideoPad Professional. It's a licensed software. Spent $60 on it, but it's pretty easy to use. Anyways, please leave some feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Say hey. I read all the comments. Here's my notes. Whoa.